We're counting down the top 10 overhyped Scotch whiskies that drain your wallet, and revealing the smarter alternatives that deliver more flavor, higher quality, and real savings. From overpriced classics to flashy blends and cult favorites, these swaps will make you question what you're actually paying for. Which bottle offers the best value and integrity? Let's kick off the countdown at number 10. Macallan 12. Double cask sits on every liquor store shelf, flaunting its name and price tag, usually around $80. But behind the fancy packaging, you are getting a whiskey bottled at 40% alcohol by volume, chill filtered for clarity, and padded with a hefty brand premium. That means a thinner mouthfeel and less flavor, all for the privilege of showing off a famous label. Swap that for Glenallachie 12. For about $60, you get a single malt bottled at 46% alcohol by volume, left unfiltered to keep all those rich oils and flavors intact. This is not just about strength, it is about integrity. When Billy Walker took over Glenallachie in 2017, he set a new standard. No chill filtration, no fake color, just full-bodied sherried whiskey. In blind tastings, Glenallachie 12 consistently beats Macallan for depth and complexity. You save $20 and actually taste where your money went. Johnnie Walker Blue Label sits on the top shelf, dressed up as the ultimate status blend. Take a closer look, and you will notice there is no age statement anywhere on the bottle, just a luxury price tag that has soared past $200. The smoothness is real, but so is the blandness. For about a third of that price, Chivas Regal 18 delivers a true age statement right on the label. Every drop in the bottle is at least 18 years old, and the result is a blend with real depth and complexity. While Blue Label's cost keeps climbing on the secondary market, Chivas Regal 18 stays steady in the $75 to $90 range. You can buy 3 bottles of Chivas for the price of 1 Blue, and you are not just paying for a name, you are getting genuine matured whiskey in your glass. Lagavulin 16 has long been the smoky king of Islay, but the price has crept past $100. What you are getting is a whiskey bottled at 43% alcohol by volume, with a bit of caramel color for consistency. That means the legendary peat comes through softer than you would expect, and your wallet takes a real hit for the privilege. Now compare that to Port Charlotte 10. This is modern Islay with the volume turned up, bottled at a hefty 50% alcohol by volume, not chill filtered, and with no added color. You get thick, oily smoke, real coastal punch, and a finish that lingers. All for around $65. You are saving about a third of the price, and every sip delivers the raw, untamed peat flavor that made Islay famous. For anyone chasing a bolder, more honest smoky dram, Port Charlotte 10 is the clear winner. Dalmore 12 grabs attention with its glossy bottle and deep copper color, but most of that allure comes from caramel coloring and a heavy hand with chill filtration. For $75, you get a whiskey diluted to entry-level strength, stripped of texture, and dressed up to look richer than it really is. The flavor ends up as thin as the presentation, more about image than substance. Bunnahabhain 12, on the other hand, skips the cosmetic tricks entirely. Bottled just over 46% and left unfiltered, it pours a natural, honest hue straight from the cask. Every sip brings real sherry depth, a thick mouthfeel, and a finish that lingers. At around $55, you are not paying for dye or fancy marketing, just authentic, full-bodied whiskey. For anyone who values what is in the glass over what is on the label, Bunnahabhain 12 is the clear winner. Oban 14 carries the weight of heritage and the price tag to match. It is often close to $95 for a bottle. That is the so-called Oban tax at work, charging extra for a name and a story, even though you are getting a gentle coastal malt bottled at 43%, filtered and polished for broad appeal. Meanwhile, Arran 10 quietly delivers everything you want from a lively island whiskey for just about $50. It is bottled at a robust 46%, left unfiltered, and it gets its golden hue straight from the cask. No caramel coloring, no shortcuts. The flavor jumps out with bright citrus, honey, and a salty breeze that feels fresh and vibrant. It costs almost half the price of Oban, but with twice the character and none of the marketing markup. Arran 10 proves you do not need to pay for legacy to get a true coastal experience in your glass. Balvenie 14. Caribbean cask promises tropical sweetness, but at $90 a bottle, what you are really getting is a soft, easy sipper that is dialed down to 43% and filtered for a polished finish. The rum cask influence feels more like a gentle suggestion than a real dessert experience. Glenmorangie Quinta Reuben 14, on the other hand, brings out the big flavors. Finished in port pipes and bottled at a bold 46%, it delivers layers of dark chocolate, ripe berries, and a silky texture that lingers. There is no filtration stripping out the richness, and the port cask gives every sip a deep, ruby glow. All for around $60, a $30 saving that buys you more intensity, more complexity, and a true after-dinner dram. When it comes to rich, dessert-style scotch, Quinta Reuben outshines the competition without breaking the bank. Hibiki Japanese Harmony wins awards for its bottle design, but what is inside is a gentle, no-age statement blend that barely hits 43% alcohol. It is smooth, sure, but you are paying over $100 for subtlety and a pretty label. Now, Nika from the Barrel throws that playbook out the window. For around $65, you get a Japanese whiskey bottled at 51.4% alcohol. No chill filtration, no soft edges, just pure intensity. Nika's master blenders are famous for marrying malt and grain whiskeys, then letting the flavors mingle in barrel before bottling straight at high proof. The result is a punchy, layered dram that explodes with spice, fruit, and oak. You are not just saving money. You are getting a whiskey that actually wakes up your senses instead of fading into the background. For anyone chasing real flavor, Nika from the Barrel is the obvious upgrade. Macallan 18. Sherry Oak has become the ultimate trophy bottle if you are willing to shell out over $400 for a name. The specs have not changed in years. 43% alcohol by volume, chill filtered, and the same sherry cask story. But the price has doubled since 2010. For that kind of money, you are buying prestige, not flavor. Glendronach 15. Revival stands in the same sherry-soaked league, but at $100, it is a fraction of the price. Bottled at a punchy 46% alcohol by volume, non-chill filtered, and with a reputation for dark chocolate and Oloroso depth, it won platinum at the International Wine and Spirit Competition. Blind tastings put it toe-to-toe with Macallan, and most tasters cannot tell which is which, except for the $300 still in their pocket. That is why Glendronach 15 is the real sherry bomb for drinkers who value substance over status. Ardbeg Uigeadail built its reputation on deep peat and sherry cask magic, but as the price edges past $85, batch variation has become a real issue. One bottle might be a powerhouse, the next a letdown, all while the cost keeps creeping up. Kilchoman Seneg offers a smarter path. It comes from a true farm distillery, so every drop can be traced from field to bottle, and the focus is on quality, not marketing. Seneg brings the same peat and sherry marriage, but at a consistent 46% alcohol by volume, non-chill filtered, and always natural in color. Critics have scored it as high as 95 out of 100, praising its balance and intensity. For about $65, you are not just getting a bold Islay dram, you are supporting a small producer that puts transparency and craft above hype. The flavor stands toe-to-toe with the big brands, and the ethics make it taste even better. Highland Park 18 has earned its reputation as a classic, but the price tag now sits at a staggering $170 or more. Recent rebranding and shrinking allocations have only driven the cost higher. while the specs remain stuck at 43% alcohol by volume, with chill filtration and added coloring. That is a lot of money for a whiskey that has become more about image than innovation. Lagavulin 18, on the other hand, flies under the radar at around $110. It is bottled at 46.3% alcohol by volume, not chill filtered, and left at its natural color. It is a powerhouse of complexity, earthy peat, raisin-rich sherry, and a funky maritime edge that keeps enthusiasts coming back. For $60 less, you get a cult favorite that delivers more depth and character than most so-called legends. No contest, Lagavulin 18 is the ultimate flavor upgrade. Across all 10 swaps, one pattern stands out. Real value hides behind the labels, not on them. Today, marketing inflates prices while production shortcuts creep in. For savvy drinkers, the best scotch isn't the loudest, it's the one that delivers where it counts. Cheers to smarter sipping.